Okay, next thing on tap is luggage. You always hear this conversation about, what luggage should I bring? Is it too big? Is it too small? Will it be enough? Well, all of that's correct. It depends on you and it depends on your cruise line. So one of the common questions is always, how much can I bring? How heavy can my suitcase be? So a lot of that mentality applies to flying. Flying, they limit your weight to 50 pounds, and then after that you have to pay extra. The cruise lines don't necessarily work on that criteria. It is a courtesy, obviously, not to have this super gigantic Buick-sized suitcase that's going to break the porter's back. So I'll give you some examples of what we have. So this one here is what we call Big Bertha. We always have a Big Bertha with us. A Big Bertha is simply a giant suitcase with a lot of space where the bulk of everything is going to go. Big Bertha. Then you'll have your smaller suitcases, like the ones you might see in overhead storage on an airplane. You may have one of these each. And then you have a carry-on. This, what we use the carry-on for is, this might have our wine bottles or sodas, depending on what cruise line you're on, that allows that. And every little thing we may have as far as toiletries and things like that we might need as soon as we get on the ship. Keep in mind, sometimes your room is not ready unless you have an elevated status like diamond or platinum or something like that, depending on the cruise line you're on. And you can't get to your room as soon as you get on the ship. So you may want to have something in your carry-on to freshen up. So you probably noticed that none of my luggage match. No, they don't. Actually, we have an assortment of luggage we've collected over the years. They're falling out of the closet, probably about a dozen different size suitcases. Some match, some do not. I really don't care. It's not a fashion show. I'm going on a freaking cruise. So me and my wife, the Bunny Cat. Yeah, that's my wife's name, the Bunny Cat. She's normally here with me, but I think she's doing some Bunny Cat stuff, like chasing squirrels outside or something. We just grab whatever's convenient. But like I said, we have our three basic ones: the overhead, the carry-on, and a Big Bertha.
One quick note here. We bought these handy dandy luggage straps from Amazon for about $16. And these are very convenient for strapping your luggage together to take them off the ship manually if you choose to do so.
Okay, so now that you know how to lay out your clothes, what luggage you could consider taking, now here comes the other part, packing. So we've decided over the years that we want to minimize packing, and there's always these different ways to do it. So some people roll all their clothes up, like a towel, and they stack them up in the suitcase, and that's just fine. We do that particularly on the way back with our dirty clothes, so we can distinguish them between good and bad. Here's a new way. These days, a lot of people are going to these magic bags to pack things when they travel. We did the same thing. So these magic bags you can find anywhere: Amazon, Walmart, Walgreens, anywhere now. They're giant Ziploc bags, and they allow you to pack your clothes in them, and then you vacuum out any air, and everything becomes really compacted, and you can fit more in your suitcase. So I know what you're thinking, but Don, that might wrinkle everything really bad. This is true. So there's ways to alleviate that. There's a spray you can buy that you can spray on your clothes after, that helps unwrinkle things, especially synthetics and satins and things like that. It really works well. But I'd like you to keep in mind, you're going on a cruise. It's not a fashion show. It's not the Real Housewives of Royal Caribbean. No one's going to be sitting there looking at you and going, oh my God, that person has a wrinkle on their dress or something. So just relax and have a good time. All right, so I'm going to show you what one of these bags does. Remember all those clothes I just had on the bed a little while ago? Well, I've stuffed them all in this magic bag. And I'm going to demonstrate how to make this smaller. So first of all, the magic bag has this giant zipper thing at the top here. It's a double seal like a freezer bag, and you pack your stuff in there, you kind of flatten it, and then you zip this up. Like so. Correct? And this is what it looks like zipped up. Keep in mind, this is a very large magic bag, by the way. They do sell smaller ones for smaller suitcases. This one can be used for packing or just storing stuff under the bed in the wintertime like we do. Instead of being smart and taking all that crap to Goodwill, we hold on to it for a long time. Yeah. So, with that said, I'll take my old handy dandy vacuum cleaner that we've had for a long time and don't use anymore because now we have robot vacuum cleaners that roam the house and do all that work for us and not crap over, you know. So we take this old vacuum cleaner and you have this plug here. Don't pull this plug out. This is a one-way valve, basically. You take your vacuum cleaner, you turn it on and you stick it on top of this plug, like so. There you have it. So now, that same bag I showed you now, this is what it looks like now. Yes, it has been compacted. It is very skinny. What me and the Bunny Cat do, we will have several of these bags full of clothes and we vacuum them down. So, there you go. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do you get back? Like I said, you still have this wrinkle thing. You know, take your clothes out and you can lay them on the bed in the old military ways just to smooth them out with your hands as best as you can. But on the way back, we either use these bags for dirty clothes or if we still have clean clothes or something we want to take back in the bag, there's this little pump you can also purchase at any Walmart or an Amazon or something. It's a miniature vacuum cleaner and it's designed just for this purpose, is to vacuum out this bag. Then later, you're on the cruise, you dump your Big Bertha suitcase, you open this stuff up, and the vacuum is released. It puffs up immediately, and you drag your clothes out, and you're good to go. Easy peasy, right? Aye. Yeah. And of course, remember, these fine products can be purchased just about anywhere. The Bunny Cat picked these things up from some Walmart somewhere on one of her hop-along excursions. All right, next we're going to go through a series of little tips, hacks, and things like that. What I would call the miscellaneous category of cruising and cruise packing. We'll start here. These are foldable hangers. And I think we have, let's see, 16 of these? No, 20 of these. And I think I paid about less than $20 for them. And what they are is that they're foldable hangers. Because, every man knows your wife's going to take all the freaking hangers when you get on a cruise ship. You're going to be left with nothing. Your pants are going to be on the bottom of the closet with all the dirty stuff and the shoes. So you get these little foldable hangers here, and this is how they work. Simple. Very simple. And they store easy, which means they pack easy and don't take up a lot of room. This was on Amazon. They come in these nice fruity rainbow colors, and that's cool with me. Potato chip clip holders. So, we use these typically to store potato chips and Fritos and other salty snacks that we're not supposed to have at home, but they also serve a separate purpose when you're traveling. I do a lot of traveling, and I go to Vegas a lot, which is really, really sunny, and nothing is more disturbing than having that sunlight peek in when you're trying to sleep. This is also an issue on cruise ships. What people who like interior rooms will tell you first is that it's dark and that's the way they want it. An ocean view or a balcony or a suite lets in a little bit of light and that irritates them. So sometimes that light is just a matter of that curtain separating just enough to let that sliver of light in. So we use these things to close the curtains. So this may or may not work on your particular room on your particular cruise lines. Some may have two curtains that meet, and these work perfectly for that. But some of them just have, especially the balconies and the suites, where the curtain just goes to one side and there's nothing to clip onto unless you can improvise it. But of course, if you can, $1, dollar store, get multiple of them. Straws. This has become an issue on some cruise lines because they're going to more recycling friendly, so they use paper straws now. And if you're like me and you milk your drink a little bit too long, these things start falling apart and they turn to mush. So a lot of people have been saying, well, I'm going to bring my own straws on board. And what they mean is that they mean plastic straws. So you can get a bag of these at any dollar store, you know, and hey, they're cheap and convenient. My issue with this is I'm going to have to carry these around all day. I don't really feel like doing that. So the other alternative to that is a metal straw. The metal straw is a lot smaller, and the difference is, of course, it's not disposable. You don't want to trash this. And the disadvantage to this is that you need to clean it every day. At least I would. Because all kinds of bacteria and everything else is going to show up in this straw over the time of your cruise. But these are your two options, other than the paper straws, are cheap plastic or metal you need to wash out. Outlet strip. This is a cheap one I got from a dollar store years ago. It's been on several cruises with us. It's a 3-outlet strip. So this is acceptable to the cruise lines because it does not cause a fire damage. Now this is more prevalent on the older cruise ships, especially Carnival, where they don't have the new layouts with the multiple USB ports next to the bed, things like that. So you have to use these, where they only have one outlet typically in the room and one outlet in the bathroom. So this little 3-outlet strip extends that capability. You can also find 5 or 6 outlet strips, but they can't have a surge protector inside. And when you buy them, you'll know the difference, because this was $1. One with a surge protector is going to cost a little bit more, which means it has, I'm an electronics engineer, it has electronics inside of it, and this is a concern for the cruise line because it can present a fire hazard if this thing malfunctions. That would be a very, very, very rare thing indeed to happen, but it's a precaution. I would think at this point they'd be more nervous about lithium batteries and things like that, and cameras. I mean, cameras and cell phones. But you cannot bring a surge protected outlet strip on any cruise line. So you have these. And given that, unfortunately, make sure you have an adapter and a charger for whatever it is you're bringing on the cruise. So I have 3 different ones here, and I'm usually charging the wife's phone, my phone, a tablet or a camera or a selfie stick or any given thing like that. Of course, this can be a nightmare in itself, but it is what it is, and it is a necessity, so don't forget them. Charging can be a pain. And then on another note, there are devices now, USB devices, that can charge multiple items at one time, and they plug into a standard outlet. I don't know if those are legal, completely legal. You have to check with your cruise line to make sure. Otherwise, they'll take it from you and confiscate it and give it back to you at the end of the cruise, and you're screwed. Yeah. Magnets. Little bitty magnets. These are also an Amazon purchase. These little bitty magnets, which look much, much bigger on the website, are actually little things, and they say they hold 24 pounds each. I'm not sure about that, but they are pretty powerful. So these little magnets, wow, you have to put them together. If you can see that, there's one piece, and there's the hook. What these would be used for, if you screw them together, if the ship you're on has magnetic walls, these can become an extension of everything you need to store clothes and things like that. You just put this on the wall. I've tried it. It's really powerful. And you can hang things on it, you know, t-shirts, whatever. And this was another one of those purchases where you get, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they were less than $15 on Amazon, but very handy. Corkscrew. Okay, so some cruise lines will allow you to bring wine. Specifically, Carnival Cruise Lines will let you bring a bottle of wine per person. Each one of those bottles have to be 750 milliliters or less. That's just a standard wine bottle. Be very careful. I did see some people try to smuggle booze in a wine bottle, and it really looked legit. But the funny part was the security guy caught it. He said, "Hey, this wine bottle doesn't have a barcode." And these people freaked out, and the guy realized this is illegal, and he rejected the bottle with security. That's just a tidbit I thought I'd share, because that was pretty cool, actually, that you need a barcode. But the reason why you would bring a corkscrew on Carnival if you let you bring 2 bottles of wine, so most time people don't have a way to open those bottles. So what they'll do is they'll take it to the dining room, and they'll tell the waiter, open this bottle. Then you'll see this charge later says, corkage fee. They charge you $15 freaking to open that wine bottle. So, and people get mad. So, bring this. Just simply go buy you a cheap, the bunny cat bought this one for a couple of bucks or something. Anyway, buy you a wine, a corkscrew, so you can open your own bottle. There's usually wine glasses in the room sometime or some other glasses, and you can walk in there with them. Of course, you can avoid the whole cork issue completely by just buying some really cheap wine like Boone's Farm or Ripple or something. They don't have corks. They just have a top. You pop it off, you put it in your paper bag, you walk to the main dining room like a wino. There's always that option. Bluetooth speaker. Okay, so some people like to hear music in their rooms, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're courteous and don't have it way too freaking loud. Because some people don't want to hear 50 Cent's diss track at 1 in the morning of some other rapper. So we take this little thing, its name is Wonder Boom. I think that's the official name. But that's what we call it. It's a Wonder Boom. This is a little bitty Bluetooth speaker, and we have bigger ones, but this one is perfect for a cruise because it does not take up a lot of space in the suitcase. Just remember, be courteous. You're on a cruise. There's other people on it also. Nightlight. For those people like myself who find themselves running to the restroom in the middle of the night, tripping over things if there's things in the way, this is just really good for an interior room. Some people will prop open the bathroom door and leave the light on, things like that. But this is a cheap $1 nightlight at the dollar store. It is not very bright. It is just enough to get you through. I take these on my travels all the time. Water shoes. Of course, there are some places you go, some beaches you go, Cozumel, Princess Cay, places like that, where you don't have perfect sand going into the beach. There's rocks in the water, and when you try to step on them, you feel like you're about to fall because it hurts so bad. So water shoes are a necessity for places like that. Even if I don't go to the beach, I will take water shoes. And believe it or not, I'm going to share a little secret with you. For you Carnival cruisers who have been to Half Moon Cay, which is one of the most beautiful places to ever go, it is a private island that Carnival owns, and no one lives there. It's a beautiful place. I actually didn't get off the ship one time there. Yes. Yeah, we didn't get off the ship. Ducks. So, I didn't see this on Royal Caribbean, but I know it's really big on Carnival, and I can't speak for the other cruise lines I haven't been on, but Duck hunting, duck scavenger hunting, duck placement, duck hiding. It's a really freaking big thing on Carnival. So what happens is you may go to your room and through your closet and there's a weird duck sitting in the back. This is one of many. They come in different varieties. This particular one has that bandana on, which I think is pretty cool. The bunny cat got this from somewhere. But people get these things and they usually leave a little identification tag saying, here's this duck from somebody. And you have the option to either keep the duck or re-hide it so somebody else can find it. I'm not sure what the history is on these freaking ducks. Yeah. I think alcohol probably had a lot to do with it, hiding and finding ducks, but it's a really, really big thing. I've seen people with suitcases full of ducks just so they can hide them. Yeah. All right. Tablets. So, a lot of people like to disconnect completely when they go on a cruise, and I get that completely. My job is very intensive. I've been attached to a cell phone for the past 29 years, and I do not pay a cell phone bill because my job pays for it. So for me to get detached from that cell phone is a big freaking deal. But you can bring your own personal tablet. In this case, I have a Kindle here. Kindle Fire that I've been using for years. Now, what's the benefit of this? If you like reading books, a tablet can hold literally 1,000 books. I remember reading a book years ago on The Allure of the Seas. I was on the balcony with my cell phone flipping through it really fast trying to read this book. It was ridiculous. But a tablet, of course, being much bigger and can hold a lot more books than a cell phone or an actual book. Hey, wow, there's some actual books here. So, this is a pretty cool book to read. It's called That There Las Vegas. It's written by me. Yes, that's my actual real name. It's actually Clyde Dow. And this book can be found on Amazon. It's in electronic form and it's also on Audible. Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's this other book I wrote. It's on Amazon also, in case you want to read it. This one was written during a dark time in my life. Yeah, it's about relationships and stuff. Yeah. But if you do happen to buy one of those books and I see you on the cruise ship, you get a complimentary bookmark from me and an autograph. Yeah. Cruise hat. Cruise hat. Guys, girls, ladies, men, there's nothing like a good cruise hat on a cruise. So this particular cruise hat I picked up in Cozumel 8 years ago. What was very strange about it was I was just minding my business in the shopping district, and this mysterious Latina lady pops up out of nowhere like magic and starts tapping me on the shoulder. Scared the hell out of me, and gestured for me to come over to her shop and look at her wares. So I didn't want anything. I don't know a lot of shopping. But I entertained her because there was something weird about her. So they had these 3 hats like this. This one in brown, one in white, and one in black. I wanted all 3 of them. They were cool. I had never seen one like it before. And so I just settled for the brown one. I have huge regrets. Ever since that, I've been on several cruises, and people ask me, hey, where did you get that hat? And I tell them Cozumel. There's this mysterious lady there. She showed me where to get it. And people would say, I've never seen this hat before. I didn't think it was anything unique, but apparently it is. So I went to Cozumel 3 years later, and I looked for that shop and that lady. And I was asking people in English and Spanish, and they were like, there's no such place. There's no such place. We don't know what you're talking about. So the mysterious lady who sold me this hat, apparently there's some magic or something to it. And anyway, what I'm getting to is that everyone should have a cool cruise hat, because there's nothing like jumping on a cruise ship in cruise mode. Yeah. Another tip, something to bring. Okay, so tipping, of course, everybody knows is a huge problem, a huge controversial issue on the ship. prepaid, no pay, whatever pay, coming off the drinks, yada, 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 yada. So anyway, I tip. And one of the other things I do, before I go on a cruise, I go to a bank and I get a bunch of singles. For tipping, strictly for tipping. You have porters, and you may have that, even though if a tip is automatically included in a drink or something like that, you may want to give more, because, hey, people work hard on cruise ships. So in this case here, I think I got $30 or $40 worth of singles. And the bunny cat, she's going to go get some more. But I had a bad experience the first time I tried this. I went to the bank and I got like $70 worth of singles. And the bank teller is looking at me, and she looks at the bank teller next to her, and they're all snickering and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what's so funny? And they said, are you going to a strip club tonight? No, I'm going on a cruise. And they looked at each other and looked back at me and said, there's a strip club on the cruise. No, damn it, this is tip money. They looked at each other again and said, yeah, for the girls on the cruise, right? I give up. Tip money. Okay, and now what everyone's been waiting for is, how do you smuggle alcohol onto the cruise ship? I'm going to show you. You get these.
This is security. We have a cruise smuggler on the terminal port. Repeat, we have a cruise smuggler on the terminal port. Take him down! Take him down!
And that's it, folks. I hope I've answered some questions for you or put some thoughts in your mind, or you can have even better ideas than what I presented. But just keep in mind, a lot of seasoned cruisers may know some of this stuff, and there's some stuff you may not have known. I really enjoyed if you hit the like and subscribe button on this channel. And if you have any comments, good, bad, or indifferent, go ahead and let them fly. I've got big shoulders, and I've experienced a lot worse in life. And like I said, in case you want to do some reading while you're on the ship, yeah. Thank you for watching.